Okay, we should be working now. I don't know for certain. I've, as always, tried to accommodate y'all who keep saying, let's play Pokemon. Okay, we're going to play Pokemon, but that requires me to change my stream. And anytime you change your stream, of course, everything in the world breaks. So hopefully it's fixed. We'll see. I think I got it streaming properly. It says that it's going, so it should be popping back up here soon. So let's see if it fixes itself now. I'm checking my channel. Bear with me a few seconds, and then hopefully we can start playing. But let's see. I'm gonna open up my docs down here and see if this is all finally working. As you know, nothing ever wants to work properly when you play games. When you do anything with streaming, it's the number one thing I tell people. If you're going to start streaming, be prepared for absolutely everything in the world to break. And it is the largest frustration ever. So, let's see if this works. It says that I'm live, but I don't see myself live, and it did not pop up any chat, so of course things are broken. Let's take a look. Okay. All right, it says that we're live. It does say that we're live here. Okay. My chat's not working properly on my screen, but I can at least see my chat here on my phone. So, good morning, everyone. Mozzarella, thank you for joining. Carl, good morning. Dex, yes, it is about time that we played Pokemon. I am finally listening to you and playing Pokemon as you requested. I'm looking to see if I can get my chat working now, but it looks like for the most part things are working as they should be. So hopefully this is good enough, as they say, for us to actually be able to play some Pokemon. So let's start the game and watch this horrendous cutscene. But we are trying the new Pokemon Scarlet on the Switch 2, so hopefully the performance is not as bad as it was on the original Switch. So let's see if this fixes it. All right, what if I go back to this screen? Does that work? All right, what if I go back to this screen? Does that work? Okay. All right, what if I go back to this screen? Okay, there we go. All right, so this is why I don't use OBS. I have talked about that for whatever reason. OBS haunts my computer and does not work at all. But this is the only way I could get Pokemon working properly. But OBS, I know everyone swears by OBS being the absolute best thing in the world. I despise OBS, and it never, ever works properly for me. So, this should fix the sound. Y'all should hear me now. You still can't hear me, Mozzarella? Are you sure you can't hear me? Do the Omni-Man meme. Are you sure? Dex, you love this game? You might be the only person in the world who loves Scarlet and Violet. I'm not gonna lie. I have not heard anyone say they love this game besides you. It definitely looks nicer. I can definitely see the improvement in performance, but okay, now you can hear me, Mozzarella? Okay. So we were talking about the Title II update. So I saw there was a leak for the Title II update, but I didn't know that like the trailer was official. So is the trailer you're talking about, is that the actual like official trailer, like they've launched it, or is it all still leaks and speculation? Because that was like the big thing for me was, okay, is this just leaks, or is this actually, you know, is this actually it? Is this actually the update? And two, does it come with performance updates? Because that's still my main problem with it, is the crashing, not the game itself. It's just the crashing that I'm tired of. As you see, I had to go with the broccoli haircut because I have broccoli hair envy. I wish I had broccoli hair in real life. I was curious to see. It's a new Nintendo Switch system. This one's got a bigger screen. I'm actually curious. I thought it might pop up as a Switch 2. I didn't know if they had updated that, because like my Joy-Cons are the like solid black Joy-Cons with just the little specks of color, and you can see that it's all black back there too. So I was kind of hoping that there would be a little like, hey, it's the new Nintendo Switch 2, and I guess it's the new Nintendo Switch system kind of fits. But did it say that when you had it on an old Switch? Or is that actually new text for having the Switch 2, you know? I'm curious if that's actually changed. If anyone out there knows, please tell me. All right, so we're going to talk to our mom, and we're going to go... Okay, so the trailer is actually out. All right, I'm going to check that out then, because I do want to play Monster Hunter Wild. I do want to go back to it. I'm just so tired of getting booted out of the game. I'm tired of it not working. So if they've made some improvements to it, then I will definitely play Title II. I'm behind on farming, which is a bummer. Like when I played the original when I played Monster Hunter World, I played it so much. I did all the quests to unlock the rainbow armor. So like I did absolutely everything in the game. So I would like to do that in Wilds too. It's just, as I said, it feels really unbearable to play the game when it breaks all the time. It's the same, but I'm pretty sure the game will mix your Joy-Con colors. That makes sense. But the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons are a little boring with the black. I like them, but I think, Dex, weren't you saying yours are already broken? Like you've already got stick drift on your Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons, which is a huge bummer that's still an ongoing problem that they haven't figured out how to fix. And didn't they lose a lawsuit on the first one? Like Nintendo Switch 1, they had a lawsuit about Joy-Cons being busted. So the fact that there's still Joy-Con drift happening on the Switch 2 is mind-blowing, that they have yet to figure out how to to solve this problem. All right, let's see. Let's fast text speed, nicknames on. Is there skip cutscenes on? Okay. Let's turn that on for a second. Excuse me. Okay, let's grab our hat and bag. They're doing free Joy-Con repairs already. That's one of those things that just makes you say, like, that's unacceptable, right? Like, this is a new system that they're charging more for than ever, and they're still having the same problems that they've always had. Like, come on, Nintendo, get your stuff together. All right, how do I run? Can I run? Have I unlocked running yet? It does not look like I've unlocked running yet. Polly's here. Good morning. That combined with stream problems makes for a very frustrating experience. Yes, it's the life of a streamer, right? No matter what, whenever I switch my stream, especially to Stream Nintendo, I have so many problems. Like right now, the sound is still, I don't know what's causing my sound to cut in and out, and I can't see like chat up on my screen, so I have to have my phone down in here. So it is a wildly frustrating experience, but the people have demanded Pokemon, so who am I to deny you your Pokemon? So here we are. Don't run in a house where your manners. Pokemon is the only modern game I can think of where you still have to unlock running. Like every other game, it's a built-in feature, but no, you've got to unlock the running shoes. All right, we've got to choose our starter Pokemon, and this is the hard choice because Sprigatito is very cute, but turns into a massive disappointment. Fuecoco is I don't even know what Fuecoco is, and Quaxley, I can't stand Quaxley because of his hair. It's so dumb. It's normal to take your shoes off when you go in the house, right? I haven't been in the USA in a while. You know, it depends on the house. Emmy and I have been getting so many toe injuries lately that we're just wearing our shoes all the time. So we keep our shoes on because our toes are getting injured too much. You think I should get the duck? Get Goka. Welcome. Hello. All right, is everyone in agreement? I've got to pick the duck with the stupid pompadour haircut. Is that what we have to do? Switch to slides when inside. Get some Croc slides. I cannot say enough good things about Crocs. I know everyone says they're ugly. I know like it's like the old people cringe shoe, but man, do I love Crocs. Except I did get the limited edition Pokemon Crocs. And I will say the bottom of the Crocs wore out within 6 months, so I had to stop wearing them because it was like walking on ice. So we had to get rid of those. But the regular Crocs have held up so well. I don't know what was up with those. Maybe I got a bad batch. How is Meowscarda a disappointment? Because look at how cute Sprigatito is, this four-legged adorable cat, and then it turns into the Phantom of the Opera. Like, really? That's it's just, I like everyone else, I wanted it to stay on 4 legs, and the fact that it turned into this 2-legged Phantom of the Opera, that was just such a massive disappointment, I think, for Pokemon fans everywhere. So do we have a run button yet? I don't think we do. No. Okay. So we're just going to slowly walk, I guess, with these guys. What's up? Where are you guys going? What'd you find, Quaxley? Meowscarda is just a big cat. Watch the anime. I haven't watched the Pokemon anime since the first season. Like, I would be so lost if I tried to watch the Pokemon anime now, because like so much has happened. I don't think I could understand the anime. I'd have to start from the beginning, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that it's like One Piece, right? There's like 1,000 episodes across like 50 different arcs of Pokemon now, right? There's no way I could catch up on the anime. All right, we have to make our choice. We're gonna choose the duck since it has been asked of us to choose the duck. If it was up to me, all three of them would go in the box because these are, without a doubt, here comes Waffle's unpopular opinion of the day already. This is the worst generation of starter Pokemon we have ever had. The only starter Pokemon that is uglier than these ones is, I don't remember exactly the generation. I think it's generation 4 with the Oshawott that turns into like the the samurai thing. Just shut up and turn it off. I'm exhausted. You asked for this, Dex. You were the one who asked for this. You knew what we were getting into. Or at least you should have known what we were getting into. All right, what do we name Quaxley? Give me a nickname, chat. What do we name the duck? We're going to name him, if someone doesn't give me a name, we're going to name him Opinion because it's terrible. Luis and Bob. Quacks a lot. Ooh, I like that one. You know, this was Dex's idea, so we'll start with Dex's idea. We'll go with Luis, Lois. The name can be pronounced a million ways, right? That's not on me. There we go. We now have our Quaxley. Now on to our journey. So this game is open world, right? Like I can go do any gyms in any order. Is that correct? He's water fighting type. How is that terrible? Okay. We play Pokemon in totally different ways. Y'all play Pokemon in like a competitive sense where like, oh, these typings are matter, and let's spread our types evenly so we have a well-balanced team. I play Pokemon based on how much I like the way that the Pokemon looks and the lore of the Pokemon. So I'm not saying he's terrible from like a type perspective. I'm not even saying he's terrible from a move perspective. I'm saying he's terrible from a I don't like the way he looks perspective. And I know y'all are going to come at me and judge me for that, but like, have you seen the way people have played like Animal Crossing? Like people talk about having all this love and compassion in real life, and then they go into Animal Crossing and like, oh, ew, this is an ugly villager. I'm going to beat him with a net until he leaves my island because my island isn't for ugly people. Like, so don't come at me, bro. Like, we all play games that way. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the judgment. So I think we all have Pokemon that we don't like the way they look. I wasn't reading or paying attention, but I think I have to jump off this cliff. I like pronouncing it without the S, like Louis. He's a duck with a pompadour. He evolves into a literal icon. He's the best. To be honest, I can't remember his evolution. So I was actually thinking he turns into the Antilleon and interloper thing, but I'm pretty sure that's last generation's water that turns into the gecko with the water gun. I'm pretty sure that's a different Mon altogether. So I can't remember what he turns into. So I guess we will be surprised when it happens. Remember when our rivals selected the Pokemon that we were weak to, and they were a challenge? Pepperidge Farm remembers. You don't gotta mention that abomination. I had a dream last night I had a dream that I was playing Vampire Survivors, but they added Pokemon to Vampire Survivors. And honestly, I think that Pokemon could work as like a Vampire Survivors style game. I think that could actually be a lot of fun. So if you're out there, devs, listening, Vampire Survivors Pokemon is what we need in this day and age. Cosmetics is important. My wife and I won't play with people in Genshin Impact for that reason. Inteleon was great. It was an honorary evolution, and its G-Max was a sniper. I do hope in the next generation we get an evolution, our next evolution. I'm hoping for either a poison evolution or a ghost evolution. The only one I don't want a rock evolution. I don't know. People have been asking for a rock evolution. That just kind of sounds boring to me. Just like, oh, it's a rock. Like, no, give me a poison or a ghost or a dragon or something like that, you know? So I hope we get our next evolution soon. And I hope it's a ghost. Or even more. Give us the full evolution rainbow. Or, you know, surprise us in Gen 10 and just give us access to all the Pokemon regions. I know that'll never happen, but you know, it's Gen 10, right? We gotta be excited for it. I'm telling you, Quackhaval is a downgrade from my glorious Pompadour's Quacker. If it's not incredibly obvious to people who are new to this channel, I am the worst Pokemon player in the world. Typically, we Nuzlocke these games, but I usually lose the Nuzlocke within like the first hour or two. Like I can barely get past the first or second gyms. So when it was specifically requested for me to play Pokemon, they said, do not Nuzlocke this game. Just play it normally for once so you can see it, and then Nuzlocke it afterwards. So we're going to play this game normally. I'm going to Nuzlocke it afterwards, but it is true that I am, without a doubt, one of the worst Pokemon players of all time. So when it comes to like Pokemon knowledge and how to play Pokemon, I'm not it, yo. I don't have it, and I have zero luck. Like, I get critical hit all the time. They use the wrong moves. I swear that I am just like cursed when it comes to playing Pokemon Nuzlockes, because I am truly something awful at Pokemon Nuzlocke. So don't take any of my Pokemon opinions too seriously, because I am the worst. Speaking of the worst, I was looking at the list of games coming out in the next month, and next month we're gonna get the new Lord of the Rings Shire cozy game. And I have said this opinion from the start, but I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to get the game. Don't worry. We're going to play that game together. I have no doubt that is going to be one of the biggest disappointments of the year. There is no way that the Lord of the Rings cozy Shire game actually is good. Like, at best, it's going to be a soulless cash grab. At its worst, it's going to be dry and boring, trying to cash in on the IP. So I'm ready to stand corrected. You know, I'm hoping that it's good. I hope that they prove me wrong, but I am standing by that opinion that the Lord of the Rings game is going to be the worst game of the year. Second worst game. I just put up a review on my channel for Scarlet Salvation. Scarlet Salvation is this year's Lord of the Rings Gollum. It was horrible. Have you ever played Hotline Miami? I have. I remember playing a little bit of Hotline Miami, but I haven't gotten super into it. A Pokemon game set in an apocalyptic world sounds cool. Maybe some sort of war happened and stuff. You got to use Pokemon to survive, but that's probably not going to happen. I mean, the old Pokemon games talked about the Pokemon War a lot, right? It's like there is canonically a great Pokemon War that exists, so they have that stuff there, and there's a lot of Pokemon that, according to the Pokemon Dex, could, you know, bring about the end of the world. Like, some of these Pokemon have the same power of the sun or a dying star, so if there was a Pokemon apocalypse, I would definitely feel like that is is a realistic possibility. Will they ever do it? No. The lore supports it, though, is what I'm saying. That they could do it with the lore. I just don't think that they ever would, because it's Nintendo, right? They can't even give us a Pokemon game that has all the Pokemon in it, so... someone gave the name Bob, so we'll name this one Bob. Bob the Lechonk. There's so much they could do with Pokemon that would actually, like, be good, and they just choose not to. They just actively choose not to make good decisions with Pokemon. Because, like, they could re-release the originals on the Switch for you to be able to play Blue, Silver, Gold, Emerald, Ruby. They could print money with that, but they don't. They could make League of Legends. I know that they released a MOBA-style game, but that wasn't very good. But they could make an actual, like, League of Legends style game, and that would absolutely slay. Or, like, right now, like, Marvel Rivals and Overwatch is like all the rage. Like, if they made a third-person Pokemon shooter, like, they would just roll in the money. But they don't even have to do that, right? They literally just have to relaunch the original couple games on the Switch for people to be able to play, and they're gonna throw money at the screen like no other, right? Like, if they released a collection of the first 3 generations and charged $100 for you, I guarantee that they would make at least $1 million on the first day if they gave us access to just the first 3 generation on Switch. Boom. Instant money printer. But they don't. They could release, like, you know, D&D's all the rage right now. They could release Pokemon, the TTRPG, and they could print money with that. You know how many nerds would go absolutely crazy for Pokemon Dungeons and Dragons? And here's the thing, they even make Pokemon miniatures already. They could sell you even more Pokemon miniatures if they had a TTRPG to put down, like, on the different squares on a grid map for playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it writes itself. And I was at the card shop, the local game shop, the other day looking for Daggerheart, and I saw that the My Little Pony TTRPG has expansions, and that really surprised me. Like, the My Little Pony Dungeons and Dragons game had 4 expansions. Who out there is playing so much My Little Pony Dungeons and Dragons that you needed 4 expansions to it? I was absolutely shocked. I just realized that Lechonk is roasted pig in the Philippines where I live. I guess that's where the name came from, Spanish too. A lot of Pokemon names are really good puns. They are pretty good about that. With that said, I have played the My Little Pony TTRPG, and it's not bad. It's just really, like, if you're playing any sort of role-playing game that's not Dungeons and Dragons, it's near impossible to put together a table because everyone wants to play Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like, playing Pathfinder, maybe you'll find some people. Daggerheart's getting a little popular, so maybe you'll get some people playing Daggerheart. Finding 4 people to play My Little Pony with you is going to be basically impossible. So don't go by the books if you're expecting to play in person, because you are not going to find 4 My Little Pony fans that you want to play the game. But let me specify that. Like, I'm sure you could find 4 fans in your area, but are they people that you want sitting at your table? I'm going to say no. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Lots of Filipino words come from Spanish. That's the great thing. Like, it's the romantic languages all kind of have the same base. So if you speak Spanish, you can kind of sort of like understand French and other languages that use like the same romantic base, because there's enough like overlap that you can kind of sort of understand some of the words. But like, if you speak Spanish, you're not going to understand anything in like Cantonese or Mandarin, for example. Like, if they have the same root base, there's at least some basis for the words, but I really need to learn another language. I was good at Spanish. I used Spanish in my everyday job for a long time, and then once I stopped using it, I lost it. And I really do wish I would have kept up with it, because knowing a second language is so good. So important. And you can get paid more for it, so why not? Alright, let's get our legendary bicycle Pokemon. And see what he's got. Italian. I would love to know Italian, simply because one of our dream spots to go visit is, you know, the Vatican in Italy, and so knowing Italian would probably help to be able to go see the Vatican. So that is also one that I would love to know, because someday we're going to make our pilgrimage to the Vatican and see the art, see the Pope, which I found out yesterday we officially have a gamer Pope. Apparently Pope Leo starts every day by playing Wordle, and I think Wordle counts as a video game. So we officially have the first gamer Pope out here playing Wordle. So I think I need to start playing Wordle to connect with our Holy Father a little bit. I think that's what I need to do. Filipino is definitely not romantic, but you can get a hint of it occasionally. Dova, welcome in. Hello. Dexter with the OMG. Are you learning about Wordle and the Pope now too? Are you gonna play Wordle with us every morning for the Pope? I also hope I have somewhere here. I have something really cool. Let me see if I can grab it. I think it's right down here. One second. I do. I've been playing Wordle for years, like the majority of Americans. So this is a rosary from Pope Francis's initiative. There's only like 2,000 of these in the world because they weren't very popular. But it's an e-rosary, and it connects to a charger and connects to your phone. And he made a whole app to help. His idea was, we want to get more of the younger generation praying the rosary, so let's make an electronic rosary where you can pray using your phone, and it connects to other people who have it and has a whole bunch of features. And it did not do very well, but it's still cool to have an electronic rosary, and one's sold directly by the Vatican, and there was only so many of them made. It's one of the coolest things I think I own in that capacity. It makes me sad that it never caught on. I would have definitely loved to see it catch on a little bit more. Did he just eat my duck? I don't know. Did he just, like, swallow my starter Pokemon? Did I just lose Quaxley already? Did I show that off on stream before? I may have, you know. We've only been streaming for like 3 years, so I'm sure I'm recycling some content. Cotton King Kill plays Pokemon too. What's your favorite generation? I also think this legendary is lame. Call me old-fashioned, but I like my Mewtwo's and Mews and Groudons and Lugias. I don't like my Pokemon to be bicycles. Gen 2, Gen 3. Those are typically the peak, right? Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire are really hard to beat. Those are really good generations of Pokemon, no doubt. Though I would like to see the DS games put on the Switch so that I can play those, because I haven't really got to play the DS games. So I really would like to be able to play Black and White, X and Y, and I guess Sun and Moon. I did play Sun and Moon a little bit, but man, Pokemon Sun and Moon was my first Pokemon game when I came back to the series. Like, I stopped playing after Emerald and Sapphire, and then one day I was really bored, so I was like, oh, I see Pokemon Sun and Moon. I need something to kill some time. I used to like Pokemon. Let's try Pokemon Sun and Moon. And holy cow, that game was ridiculous with like the hand holding. We've only got a 6-hour tutorial. Like, it was way too long and way too hand holdy. So I did not enjoy Sun and Moon. I like the aesthetic. I like the idea. I did not like the execution. I honestly don't really think imitating the Pope's actions gets you closer to God. Not sure if you're being for real. Yeah, definitely being for real. So I'm Catholic, so I obviously put a lot of weight onto the Pope. Now, we don't worship the Pope. We don't think the Pope is God. You know, he's not our God. He's not an idol. But the Pope is the emulation of Christ on earth. What the Pope does is supposed to lead us closer to God. Now, is that always the case? No, we've definitely had some bad popes throughout the 2,000 years of the history. There's no denying that. But when the Pope is serving in the capacity that the Pope is supposed to, he is supposed to emulate Christ. And like the biggest example of this, I think, was Pope Francis got in this scandal because he hit a woman. And the story goes that he was walking, doing his usual walkabout, and this woman grabbed him. And he's like, at this point, an 85-year-old frail old man with one lung, and a woman grabbed him and caught him off guard, and he got scared, and so he hit her hand to try and get her to let go because he was getting hurt. And again, he's an old man, and he went and publicly apologized to her for hitting her hand like that, even though he was 100% in the right, and people called him weak for apologizing for that. But that was the most Christ-like thing that he could do, right? It's about forgiveness. It's about compassion. It's about bettering ourselves and saying, I could have handled that better. In the moment, I didn't. I'm sorry. That was a great moment of humility. Pope Francis also liked to run away from the Vatican. He would go out into the streets unassuming. He would take off all the Pope gear and just preach and help the homeless and the downtrodden as this, not as the Pope, but as just a person going and meeting people where they were at, as Jesus did. So when you have a really good Pope, those actions do help you to bring you closer to God. But there have been bad popes. That's undeniable. So it doesn't always happen. But I have high hopes for Pope Leo. I have a lot of high hopes for Pope Leo. I guess imitating the Pope's biblical stuff might get you closer to God. And the Pope can be wrong about the Bible. We've talked about this at length. That yes, when the Pope speaks ex cathedra, he can speak with absolute authority that is infallible, but that does not happen very often. And when he's not speaking in that capacity, the Pope can definitely be wrong. But again, I really have high hopes that what Pope Francis started, Pope Leo is going to continue to build upon and help move the church in a really good direction. The denouncing of the politicians and the denouncing of all the immigration policies and tearing families apart and things like that, I definitely think that Pope Leo is going to do some great work in his time. I hope. I know that there's always a lot of fear when a new Pope comes in, that he's going to change things or things are going to get ruined, but I really like Pope Leo, so we'll see. And if not, I mean, the average Pope serves, I think the average length is like 7 or 8 years. So like, it's crazy to think if we get a new Pope every 7 to 8 years, and they're always a little bit younger each time, as we get older, there's a realistic chance that in our lifetime we will have a Pope that has a favorite Pokemon, a Pope that comes up and says, in my childhood, I watched One Piece and Dragon Ball Z, and my favorite Pokemon is Squirtle. And that is so That is so mind-blowing to me to think about having a pope stand up in front of the world in interviews. Because Pope Francis, when they talked about, like, hey, what do you do in your free time? Pope Francis didn't watch TV. The only thing he did, like, in that realm was he said that he would listen to his favorite football team on the radio occasionally. So every pope's going to have a different thing. We have a realistic chance in the next 5, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of getting a pope who's like, yeah, I like to unwind with a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, or I like to unwind by playing Pokemon or whatever. And that is such a cool thought to me that we may have that. And what a great way to finally connect to the younger generations, because that's always the constant problem, right? That Catholicism and the Catholic Church is seen as this old people thing and out of touch. And so having something that can actually connect to the younger generation. Although I will say there are a lot of the younger generation, the 15 to 20-year-olds who are becoming Catholic, but it seems like they are becoming Catholic for all the wrong reasons. I have seen a lot of super radical right-wing. They are becoming Catholic because they want to talk down to everyone and say, I have these traditional values and you're all abominations because this is the right and good and old way. And it's this weaponized Christianity that I really despise, where people use it as a bludgeon to knock everyone else down of like, oh, I'm so Christian, I'm so Christ-like, you're not, so you're gross and terrible. And I think that there's a lot of super radical younger people who are using a weaponized Christianity, not because they believe in it, but because they can use it to be better than other people. And that is so gross to me. But as we've talked about also on this channel, I wasn't exactly a paragon of the faith when I was a 15, 16, 17-year-old. So I understand that as well, right? I understand why they do that, and that we all, at one point in our lives, are cringe teenagers. And hopefully someday we all recover from being cringe teenagers. That's his Pope gear. He uses it to do Pope stuff. Maybe it's his loadout. It's actually strange how much people care about the quote Pope gear, because when Pope Leo was like first elected, one of the first news articles I saw was a bunch of different people going, well, is the Pope going to wear the red shoes? Why was that a question? But that was like on everyone's mind. Everyone's like, oh, is he going to wear the red shoes? And because Pope Francis was not very traditionalist, and he got rid of a lot of like the pomp and circumstance around being Pope. And so everyone's like, oh, is Leo going to return to traditionalism? Is he going to wear the red shoes? Is he going to wear this cross? Is he going to wear this stole or this stole? Is it going to be this color or this color? So like the things the Pope wear apparently is very, very important to a lot of people, because that's everyone was talking about. Everyone was asking those questions of what's his shoes going to look like? What's his cross going to look like? What is his crucifix going to look like? What's his shepherd's crook going to look like? All these things. At some level, the whole world got to see the papal drip. And I agree with Pope Francis on this one, because one of the things the Protestants, you naughty Protestants out there, always do is they'll pull out that biblical passage where Jesus condemns, like, you Pharisees who walk about the town square wearing your long flowing robes and your big hats. And they'll say, look, Jesus condemned the Pope by saying this because the Pope wears the long flowing robes and the big hat. And there's so much to that conversation, but I understand how just on the outside looking in, how you can be like, okay, the Pope says that he's Christian and loves the poor people, but he's wearing $10,000 worth of clothing. Like, what's going on there? I understand how that conversation can be very off-putting to someone who doesn't understand all the tradition and everything that goes into it, right? Like, I can see where on the outside looking in, that doesn't look very good. In the same way that, like, our church got a new altar there's this tabernacle at the very, very edge of the church where they put the Eucharist when they're done with it, and it's this giant solid gold container. And I'm pretty sure at some point they were talking about being like $10,000-$15,000 plus the cost to install it, plus all these other things. So at the end of the day, you're talking about this church dropping $30,000 on a solid gold tabernacle to hold to the outside world. I'm not saying it is this, but to the outside world, it looks like you spent $30 or $30,000 to hold a bunch of bread. Like, are you absolutely crazy? Like, and I can see from the outside looking in why that sounds and looks really bad. It's not only young people. Have you seen those mega churches where one person acts like they're so holy and stuff? Oh yeah, the mega churches. The mega churches is a whole other problem, especially like the ones where I know you've seen the memes where they have a zip line where like the pastor comes riding down on a zip line to a full band playing. One of the churches I attended, I'm ashamed of this, God forgive me, they had a full stage for a band, and that stage opened up into a full-size swimming pool, but that it was a baptismal pool that you could swim in when it needed to, but it was paid for as a baptismal pool. So it was a fully functioning basketball court that could turn into a fully functional swimming court that could also be used as a center stage for a live band to play. And they had huge multiple 100-inch TVs all the way up that, you know, were everywhere, so you could see no matter where you were at in the church, you could see the pastor and hear him. Their sound system was really good, obviously, so that was a problem on multiple levels. I definitely did not know any better. I live near a mega church, and man, do they get packed. 100 a spot just to park, like, excuse me. And on top of that, they charge per person. Yeah. There's also, I know some churches are getting into like and this one, again, I see both sides of it. There's a lot of churches that are starting to put like ATMs in there. And I really don't like that, right? Like, I understand that there's a lot of older people who prefer to like pay in cash, and so having an ATM in there is a convenience thing, but it definitely feels weird that like when you walk into a church, the first thing they say is, "Hi, welcome to God's house. The ATM is located to your left. Go ahead and hit that up before you come in." Like, it just feels icky to me, right? Like that. I don't like that. I understand, again, that there are people who do like that. There are people who do prefer that, but it feels so weird and gross to walk into a church and the first thing you see is an ATM. So we need to go South Province, Area 1, the massive hill on the way to school. Okay. Is that... No, we want to go to Area 1. Okay, we're going over there. Let's go up and over there. Honestly, open the zip line up and charge a ride, but come on. And like, there's that one famous TV evangelist, I think it's Kenneth Copeland, that I really, really don't like him, who has his own private jet. And there's like that really famous interview where they go in and ask him about like demons, and he's like, "Don't you say that." And he's just like, he looks like evil embodiment. Like, I really don't like TV evangelists and the televangelists overall. I do not like that at all. I do not like that at all. It's capitalism, unfortunately. But see, here's the thing, is that I think Christianity, real Christianity, is a denouncement of capitalism. You cannot be a full capitalist and a Christian, because they are at odds with each other, because most of capitalism is about exploiting people's labor. It's about taking advantage about people. It's about monetizing everything, when that is not the values that Christianity holds near and dear. So I know that there's a lot of people who feel like that is an incorrect statement, but I will fight anyone on that. Now, I'm not saying communism or socialism or anything else is better, but the idea of putting money first is so anti to Christianity that I just don't see how you can support that system and be a Christian at the same time. It weirds me out that one of the most popular mega churches around my area is next to our world famous grocery store and a shopping center. Yeah. And like location is important. The church the church should be in locations that are accessible. I want to talk to my local Knights of Columbus and my local father about, they put their church right across the street from a assisted living facility, mostly for the elderly, but anyone who needs assisted living can live there. And I want to convince the church to build a free fridge there. I want them to convince that we need to build a shelter out of the rain where we can plug in a fridge and we can place our extra food and donations of food, dry food, canned food, and especially refrigerated food. Because if we're this close to the assisted living place, we know that a lot of people on Social Security, a lot of the elderly, struggle to afford groceries. So if we are the church that is closest to them, then we should be filling that need in our community, and we should have a free fridge that gives them the ability to come and get food when they need it if they can't afford their food. We are the hub for our community. So I am in the process of trying to convince our church to build a free fridge right there for the elderly in our area to be able to come and eat, because I know this doesn't happen as much today, but I'm pretty sure it still happens. One of the most popular items that when they tracked when they were tracking the elderly purchasing habits, one of the most common things they saw was that the elderly would purchase cat food in bulk. And oh, that makes sense. The elderly love cats. They have their companions. That wasn't what it was for. It's because cat food used to be cheap enough that they could buy cans of cat food in bulk, and they would eat that rather than eating regular food because they couldn't afford anything else. And to me, that is the sign of a failure of society. If you're elderly or having to eat Meow Mix because they can't afford regular food, we have failed as a society on multiple levels. So my biggest passion, and I thank Emily for this every day. Thank you, Emmy, who helped me to learn the compassion and empathy. The free fridge has become my favorite charity, because even food banks have rules. They can be intimidating for people. There's people who can't access them. I love the idea of a free fridge that is literally just a fridge out in the open. Anyone can go there. Anyone can grab the food. Are you homeless? Are you in need? Are you struggling? Do you just need something? It doesn't matter. You come in and you take what you need. No questions, no rules, no forms to fill out, no specific hours. Just here is food. Take it if you need it. Done. That is now my passion. That is my passion for charity is the free fridges. Just access to food, no questions asked. Oh, I didn't nickname my fletchling. I messed that up. Whoops. They'll say, of course, cough up the money. Sorry, my chat's moving a little bit fast here. I'm losing sight of some of the things that were said. So sorry. Cough up the money so we can make it as well. The labor and the people to back it up. To me, Christianity ain't about religion. It's about singing and dancing and yelling hallelujah. It's about actually putting what you know into practice and act like you're so holy. So that is one of the big problems in Christianity. I think there's a difference between Christianity and performative Christianity, and that's why I don't like the charismatic churches as much. The people who do the whole come in here and we're gonna roll on the floor speaking in tongues because we're so blessed by God that we're gonna pretend we're having seizures and froth at the mouth and screaming, and there's a big difference between that and somebody who says that they're Christian and they donate their paycheck to the needy. Someone who's willing to go help the elderly, people who visit people in prison. It's the actions. And we talk about this a lot, right? You can say whatever you want. Saying you're Christian doesn't make you Christian. Saying you know the Bible doesn't make you Christian. It's the actions at the end of the day. If you don't act like Christ, then you're simply not a follower of Christ. And that is why more times than not, I bust out my favorite line from the Bible, which is, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord, but do not do what I say?" Right? You can say whatever you want, but if you're not doing what I say, then you're not following me. All right, let's do a battle. Come fight me. I agree with that point to a point, especially in America Christianity and its devolvement into Christian nationalism. There is definitely a lot of bad ideas about Christianity in America, and a lot of it also comes the super evangelical people in the South are definitely pushing some some horrible, horrible ideas. I definitely agree with that on... why am I using water gun on a grass type? I know I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. I know you don't use water on grass types. I'm not that bad, I promise. That I wasn't reading because I was talking. That was chat's fault. Mark it up to chat. Y'all are too distracting. You're making me look bad at Pokemon. What are y'all doing? Stop distracting me, chat. This is serious business. We have to beat the Bon Sweets. But yes, there is a lot of bad Christianity, and it's so tough because like you don't want to gatekeep Christianity, right? Like we don't need to say no, you're not a real Christian because of XYZ, because if you start doing the no true Scotsman that no one's Christian unless you meet XYZ, then you'll quickly find that well, nobody is Christian. You're absolutely right about that, right? So we don't need to gatekeep it, but also I feel like Christianity would be in a better place if the majority of people who pretend to be Christian but aren't couldn't say that they're Christian, right? Like, we'd get much less of a bad rap if we could get rid of some of the bad actors in the space, right? Come on, Louie. Pound the Pichu. Your stream's name Path of Exile 2, did I miss it? No, you did not miss that, so... what had happened, so I'm on OBS right now, and I haven't used OBS in months because I despise OBS, but OBS is the only thing that works really well with my capture card. So I used to use OBS, and I must have been streaming Path of Exile 2 back when I last used OBS. So that's most likely what happened, is that it grabbed my old stream information from when I used to stream Path of Exile 2. But I haven't touched Path of Exile 2 in a while. And that's a bummer, because like Path of Exile 2 was fun at first, but it became really, really frustrating really fast when you got to the end game of it, where it was just these horrifically long boss fights where if you made one mistake, you would die and have to start over. And it basically became Dark Souls. I felt like it became Dark Souls by the end of my play sessions at it, and I just wasn't having fun. Speaking of Dark Souls, y'all said I need to stream Elden Ring because you all hate me. And it just so happens that Gamefly sent me the new Elden Ring Night Rain, Nightfall, whatever it is. So y'all got your wish. I now have the new Elden Ring in my PlayStation now, so one of these days we're gonna play the new Elden Ring and suffer through it, and y'all can see just how much I despise Elden Ring. Thought on Path of Exile 2, I want to pick it up. I enjoyed Path of Exile 2 for about 40 hours, so that's not bad for the price. Like, that was definitely a decent amount of playtime I got out of it. And it's still in early access, so of course they will be updating it and making it better. So I think it's worth it. I just got tired of the end game, but it could be totally different now than it was when I was playing it. But I wouldn't say it was a bad game. I just don't think it was for me towards the end of the game. Can you grab your camera for a Lamar Jackson edit? I'm not sure what you mean, and I don't know who Lamar Jackson is. Is that rapper? Lamar Jackson? He's saying, is he the one who does, Sunflower from, Spider-Man? I really like that song. I really like the, stop it. Sunflower from the Miles Morales was super good. Did you just say Gamefly? I will promote Gamefly any and every day. I pay $23 a month for Gamefly, and they send me 2 games I can keep for as long as I want, and I've rented so many games that I would not have played otherwise. Everyone should use Gamefly. Gamefly is so good. I cannot say how much I love Gamefly. They have saved me. I did a spreadsheet. They've literally saved me thousands of dollars between all the games that I rented and all the games that I did not enjoy. Literally thousands of dollars. So Yes, I still use GameFly. Lamar Jackson is an NFL player. Okay, I was way off then. Then who sings Sunflower? And also, once you tell me who sings Sunflower, tell me. I love the way like that Sunflower starts. Like the first couple bars of Sunflower, just it tickles the ear just right. So does that artist do any other songs in that style? Like, I don't care once he starts like actually like rapping, but like the singing of the first couple bars, that I absolutely love. So if you know anyone who does songs like the first couple bars of a Sunflower, please tell me. I would love to hear more of that. That's Swaley and Post Malone. I was way off. Is Post Malone Kendrick Lamar? Like, was I close on that? Like, is Post Malone's real name Kendrick Lamar? Was I close on that, or am I just way off? He has a lot of songs like that. Swaley or Post Malone? Or do they do like collabs a lot? I don't know. I don't know. You know that I don't know pop culture. I don't know music. Y'all know this. Why are you making me look stupid on stream, Dex? Why are you doing this to me? As always, Waffles has no idea what the heck he is talking about. Surprise, surprise. Thoughts on John Wick Hex game? I am way behind on John Wick. I have only seen the first John Wick, but I enjoyed it, so I'm sure it's good. I like John Wick, so I just haven't caught up on it. I like Keanu Reeves as an actor, but I'll tell you what, I always get Keanu Reeves mixed up with Markiplier. Like, Keanu Reeves and Markiplier look almost the exact same to me, so I always get those two mixed up. All right, let's blow Fuecoco up with a water gun. I'm sorry about my terrible pop knowledge. I've tried getting better at it, but it's not working. I have not, quote, get good at it. Can I grab my camera? I can grab a camera. My big camera is tucked away right now, but I do have I have my second favorite camera right here that's accessible. We've got the Canon PowerShot V1. This little thing is an absolute monster of a powerhouse. So this is my second favorite camera to use when I am not using my my big camera. So, or are you talking about the camera that I'm actually using to record here? This camera, like grab it like that? Like, is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I'm a photographer, so when you say camera, there's a lot of cameras I have. So you want me to just grab my camera like that? The camera I'm using, by the way, I'm using a DJI Osmo 3, and that is my favorite camera for content creation. It is an absolute monster. So if you're looking for a cool content creation camera, the DJI Osmo is amazing. Do you watch Markiplier? No, I have never actually watched Markiplier. I've just seen clips of him here and there. Here's the thing. I am the worst kind of streamer and content creator in that I really don't watch other streamers or content creators really, because like I can't stand most other streamers. I know it's going to sound like a huge hypocritical thing, but hear me out. Part of the reason I started streaming was because I couldn't find streamers that I liked, because so many of them do like the annoying screaming and yelling and all the time and all the loud noises and all the different, and I can't stand any of that. So I started streaming a much chiller experience because that's what I wanted, and I couldn't find any streamers who did that. And like I was talking a little bit earlier about Daggerheart. Daggerheart is the new TTRPG released by Critical Role. So this is going to sound shocking. I know it's super unpopular. I despise Critical Role. I cannot stand listening to Critical Role. I absolutely hate the way that they sound and do their stuff. But I decided I wanted to hear Daggerheart, and they're the ones who made it. So I was like, I'm going to go listen to Critical Role. I listened to the first 10 minutes of their first episode, and I had to turn it off after that. Like, it was so unbearable. The screaming, the laughing, the ads, the capitalism. Like, there was no, like, actual enjoyment in there. The game was just so obnoxious. So I tend not to watch other streamers because most of them are super obnoxious. The only exceptions I have is I watch Peter Tony. I like his stuff, and we've done some stuff together, so I really support him. But if you have any recommendations for streamers or content creators who aren't loud and annoying and obnoxious, I will hear you out. I would love to hear it. Switch 2 mod? No, I do not have a mod on my Switch 2. I do not mod my Switches at all. There is no mods on my Switch. I basically don't do any modding in general, honestly. I know like a lot of people do a lot of mods for Helldivers, and I haven't modded Helldivers. Like, I basically stay clear of mods. The only mods I've ever really done are World of Warcraft for like damage meters, and then I've done a modded Stardew Valley run, but that's about it. Markiplier screams sometimes, but it's actually really funny most of the time. It might not appeal to you, though. I'm pretty sure Markiplier specifically is for the younger generation. That's the other problem with a lot of streamers, is they specifically target children. That's just not my demographics. So, I also want streamers who are making not adult content. I don't want streamers making adult content, but I do want them who her demographic is adults, is aimed towards 30 or 40-year-olds and not 12-year-olds. Streamer who isn't loud or annoying or obnoxious, Saint Waffles comes to mind. I know some people would also deny that. There's at least a couple haters in my chat right now who would call me annoying. You beat me to it, Dex. I didn't see what was said. I just saw you deleted it. I missed it. I missed the fun. Way to go, mods. That was actually a tough fight because I realized my entire team is weak towards electricity. So I guess we need to get some ground and rock Pokemon on our team, since apparently electricity wipes our team with the floor. So we have spotted a hole in our team. Let's go catch a Diglett, I guess. I don't know what else is. I want a Tinkatuff. Tinkatuff is my favorite Pokemon from this generation. Tinkatuff is really cool, so I want to catch one of those. I like Mousehold. We'll try and catch a Mousehold. I don't know what's a cool rock Pokemon that I can add to my team. We need a flamingo Pokemon. I love flamingos. If you didn't know, flamingos are one of my favorite Pokemon. One of my favorite real life animals too. So we'll get a Flamigo as well. A shiny Cloth. Markiplier is definitely aimed more for my generation with some adult things sprinkled in. Was Markiplier the one who did the project that was like the 1 year project where he only streamed the stuff for like 1 year and then he deleted everything, so it was like a part of, you had to be there? Because I really thought that was a cool idea. I never watched it, but I thought it was a cool idea. And I know that the internet's ruined it because you can go back and watch it because people purposely recorded his streams and all that so they could continue to post it, even though that defeated like the whole idea of the 1 year project. Or maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. If someone knows, tell me. There's a good chance that I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to school, I guess. PewDiePie was another one of those that like he seemed like a cool dude, but like his stream was not targeted for people like me, but like he seemed like a cool guy, so. And I don't necessarily hold it against them. Like if that's what they want to do with their stream, you know, that's their business, that's what they're doing, but I just wanted a chiller, relaxed thing for people my age. In fact, my demographics show I have like 5% of my audience is over the age of 60. Like, I'm fairly certain I'm in the very, very minority of streamers who can say that a good portion of my viewers are retired over the age of 60. Which I also heard that they just raised the age of retirement officially to 67, which is a huge bummer. Because now the goalpost is just even farther away, unfortunately. Alright, let's fight Team Star. Team Star is without a doubt the worst enemy team in any Pokemon game. I miss the days of Team Rocket. I also really miss the vibes of Team Rocket, how like you had the Team Rocket cards that came like with the first booster packs for the original card game, where the Team Rocket Pokemon were all like clearly abused and evil, and so they had like stats to reflect that, and all the Team Rocket members had whips on them. Like the Team Rocket vibes were so much more sinister than this. I went to Twitch from TikTok because of a few streamers. 2 of them got popular. One grinded and streamed daily. The other one went viral on TikTok. I no longer follow either one of them. I was talking to Emmy about TikTok last night, actually. I think we've both agreed that we're going to delete TikTok today. No good comes from TikTok. I am pretty much done with it. I'm mad that I lost my account because I was fairly, not going to say fairly large because I only had like 15,000 on TikTok, but like I worked for it and then someone hacked my account and they refused to return it to me. So I think we're just done. Both of them are screamers. I couldn't stand it, and one used a fake accent and lied about where he was from. It's anything for the views, right? There are so many fake streamers out there who will have these gimmicks just to get views, just to get a paycheck. I checked in on him recently. He's still using that stupid accent and streaming to 3 to 9 people a stream. I mean, we got that beat right now. We're sitting at between 10 and 17 people, so. And that's like the whole, I see all these people who do like this streamer advice, and it's always like niche down and cater to people and make sure you do all these things, and like that's a good way to turn your stream into a business, and you'll get bored of it eventually, right? Like my whole thing is I've always just wanted to be me. Mozzarella, thanks for hanging out. Have a good evening. I think it's evening where you're at, so have a good evening. Thank you for hanging out. I don't want to do gimmicks. I don't want to do what everyone else wants me to do. I don't want to niche down. I just want to be me, and I want people to show up because, oh, I like St. Waffles as a person, so it doesn't matter whether he's streaming Pokemon or Helldivers, whether he's talking about Kendrick Lamar or Lady Gaga, whether he's streaming to a blank screen or not. I just like hanging out with that dude. That's always been what I wanted. So I ignore all of those niche down or do these things because that's I don't want that. I just want to be me, you know? I know people hate Willow Smith for her I'm Me song and that's all I can be, but she hit the nail on the head with that one. I think she got way too much hate for I'm Me and I whip my hair back and forth. I think I think Willow Smith is a solid singer who got memed into oblivion. And I'll tell you what, I would rather listen to I Whip My Hair Back and Forth on repeat than any Beatles song. Any day of the week. Give me I Whip My Hair Back and Forth instead of anything from the Beatles. Any day. I would take that. So many people get into streaming for money and they burn out once money gets involved in anything. That's all it's about. I try and avoid that. I definitely try and avoid that, but it also, like, I invest 20, 30, 40 hours a month into streaming and content creation. So it's nice to be paid for your labor. So I understand why people do that, but it's a balance. Unfollowed, I say good day. I am a certified hater of the Beatles. I do not understand their draw or their appeal. Their music is so boring. I recognize what they have done for music everywhere. I understand that they had a huge influence in like 90% of bands we have today. Thank the Beatles as an inspiration for what they are, but like listening to the Beatles now when we have so much better music is like listening to your great-grandfather's wax cylinder bop music that you would hear like on a Fallout game. Like, it's just that slow, old-timey, boring music. That being said, Fallout does have some bangers on the tracks. Not all of them, but there is some good music in Fallout. But if you want real good music, you have to go back even farther. You know, you get into the classical era for waltzes and jazzes, that sort of thing. Much, much better. No, it's not. You're just wrong. See, that's the great thing about opinions is opinions can't be wrong, right? Like, I know I'm wrong a lot, but when it comes to opinions, everyone's entitled to theirs. So you can't say my opinion is wrong because it is just what it is. Can we skip through this cutscene? No, we can't. All right, we're just gonna jam the A button then. I don't care what my character's dream is because we're in the world of Pokemon, so I'm guessing it's something about Pokemon because it's Pokemon. I don't want to explore. I don't want to take classes. I don't want to explore the classes. I want to catch Pokemon. Alright, we'll go to the staff room, I guess. What kind of school lets the children just walk into the teacher's lounge? Is that the water trainer? Her hair kind of reminds me of like a jellyfish, like a tentacruel. So I'm guessing that's the water type gym leader. Do y'all get that? Are y'all getting like jellyfish out of this? Her name is La Primera. She's strong. She's cool. That doesn't tell me what gym leader she is, though. Take on the 8 gyms, collect the badges, then go to the championship, yada yada. We know that. We've only been doing that for 30 years. Treasure hunts. Blah, blah, blah. She's the league champion. Okay, so she's not the gym leader. Okay, good to know. All right, what gym are you sending me to? We've got a normal gym, a water gym. No fire gem. My Pokemon is water, and I don't have a fire gem, so that's not great. But I'm sure there's a rock or some sort of water gem I can do. So we want to go catch some Pokemon, though. I'm done with all of this. Let's go find some Pokemon. Let me out. Let me out of the tutorial, please. All right, we saw the cafeteria. We talked to somebody. Can we please go see the world and go find our bicycle? The water gym leader is Kofu. He's a hoot. Is that a play on tofu, like watery tofu, or is that am I reading too much into that? You're talking, you're talking, you're talking. I'm not interested in what you're saying, but you're talking, you're talking, talking. I really do wish they would make a Pokemon TTRPG. I know some people have made some hacks and they're okay, but I feel like an official Pokemon, the role-playing game, would be amazing to play. I'm reading too far into it. That sounds right. That sounds right. Speaking of tofu, I had some miracle noodles last night that are made from basically tofu, so they're low carb, low calorie noodles that are supposed to taste like nothing, so you can make spaghetti without all the carbs. They were delicious, but they were like $5 for a bag. That's like one single serving, so way too expensive for noodles, but really good. Not something I could eat every day, but I do like the ability to cut out carbs. I do enjoy being able to cut carbs a lot. So the problem is carbs are delicious. So the never-ending struggle of wanting to lose weight, but also wanting to eat carbs. Can y'all stop talking? I just want to see the world of Pokemon. Thank you. That's how many is too? Is that a noodle? Or is that a Pokemon? Ugh. This is definitely the worst part of every Pokemon game. I get that they make them for kids and they put the tutorials in there and the hand-holding, but holy cow. They really need to just put in a feature that says, I've played Pokemon before, I know your story sucks, I know you have nothing important to say to me, just shut up and let me play Pokemon. They just need one button for that, please. Please, Nintendo. I will pay extra for a DLC that lets me just turn off all the videos, turn off all the story, and just play the darn game. Is there a Pokemon cooking game? I'm pretty sure there's a Pokemon themed cooking game, but it's not actually a cooking game. Like it's a match 3 game, but it's like Eevee's Bakery or Pokemon Cafe or something that's on your I think it's a cell phone game or a Switch game. Ryu, hello. So I think there is a Pokemon themed cooking game, but it's not a actual cooking game. It's just a match 3 Bejeweled clone. Hello, hello, welcome in. Pokemon Cafe Remix. It's not, yeah, it's not a cooking game. It's Bejeweled. It's Candy Crush, but with Pokemon. We do need more cooking games, though. I feel like so many games like introduce cooking, but it's always just like, oh, put the 3 ingredients in the pan and then hit A at the pan and you've cooked the food. I wish we had a little bit more in-depth cooking games. I do like cooking games. I want a little bit more oomph to the mechanics, you know? I don't want to just throw 3 ingredients in there and now you've cooked a succulent meal, you know? I want there to be a little bit more to the mechanics. That was a Cuisineer. was a roguelike game that I loved the idea of it. The idea was during the day, you go into the dungeon and you fight monsters and you collect the ingredients. And that night you take those ingredients back to your restaurant and then you use it to cook meals, and then that raises you money, and then you use that money to upgrade your restaurant and all that. And like, that was such a cool idea for a game. And I really enjoyed it until I got to the cooking, because the cooking was so boring that, like, why would you make this a core mechanic of the game and not actually invest in making the game fun? This is Path of Exile 2, just playing, but you might want to update your stream info. Thank you. Unfortunately, my OBS is currently broken, so I do not know how I can update that info because my streaming software is all borked right now. So I will try and fix that once the stream is over, so that it doesn't happen again. But I am aware it is borked right now. But I can do nothing to fix it, because if I try and fix it, it's going to stop the stream. It's going to break other things. So we're letting it exist. You can do it through the YouTube dashboard. I guess I could try that. We could try that, and hopefully it won't break. Hopefully it won't break everything. Okay, let's see. I just changed it. Did that work? We'll see if that tries not to break it. Okay, can we finally leave the school and go catch some Pokemon and enjoy the game? I will say, I know I said this at the beginning, it is running much smoother. So the Switch 2 definitely has the power to run this game, which is nice that it doesn't have nearly as many glitches or problems as it did before. It is running much better than it was before. Ugh, nope, there's more story to explore. We've been playing for an hour and a half and we're still in the tutorial. How awful is that? I'm not a fan of anime, but when they cook in it, I need a game of that. I think it would be hard. It would be hard. I think they could pull off Food Wars, the video game. I think Food Wars could make a very good video game. I think it's in dangerous territory, but I think they could do it. I would love a Food Wars cooking game a whole lot. There's also another anime game I'm curious to try. As a fellow streamer, happy to help. Dropped a sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll check out your channel once I'm done here. I'm actually not going to stream for too much longer. I'm actually a little bit past when I usually stop streaming, but there is another anime game that just came out that's based on an anime that I've never heard of or seen. So I can't recommend this anime because I've never seen it. I don't know, but the concept seems interesting. And it is a horse derby anime where all the main characters are based off of real life horses that are racing like in a horse racetrack. And somehow they've turned that into a game, and someone said that it's like an anime with 3 seasons that's really good. I can't say whether or not for certain that's true, but it seems like an interesting concept, so I'm kind of curious to check it out and see, okay, you've got horse racing, but it's students at a high school instead of horses. That I could see that as a concept, but we'll see, because too many animes are, that's a cool concept, but there's way too much fan service for it to be enjoyable. So that is why I'm always hesitant when someone says, check out this anime, because typically it just means there's jiggle physics, and that's not what we're about here. So I don't want to set my destinations. I will just want to go see the world. Come on, a little bit faster. I'm not looking for the mystical herbs, sorry. We're not interested in that. Okay. I am interested in kicking Team Star butt to get them out of here. It's a good anime. It's called Pretty Derby. I don't remember how much, if any, fan service is in it. Yeah, Pretty Derby. That's the game. That's the anime. I think I'm going to check that out. It seems like an interesting concept. Yeah, it's horses turned into anime characters that are racing in like a derby, like you're going to the racetrack, but instead of horses, it's students. Okay, yes, I know what a gym looks like. Thank you so much. We're almost there. Please, Nintendo, make it end. Holy cow. You need an auto clicker for all these ads. That's also another reason I stopped watching Twitch, honestly, was, again, I have no problem with people running ads. I don't mind watching ads. I know everyone's trying to make money and monetize. No problems with that. But like a couple people I saw on Twitch, they would run between 8 and 12 ads at a time. I'm not going to watch 12 ads in a row just to watch you random streamers. Sorry, it's not happening. That is too many ads. 1, sure. 2, okay. 3, we're getting there. That's a bit much. 4, that's about the limit. But 12 ads back to back to back to back to back. That is too many ads. And I'm pretty sure they have control over. YouTube, I have no control over. Whatever YouTube does, YouTube does. I have like zero control over that, but 12 ads seems a little excessive. Your cat? What about your cat? All right. We finally have the world. Does that dragon have a wheel on your chest? Yes. The dragon is designed like a Stone Age motorcycle, essentially. It has these giant wheels on its chest, but it still runs on 4 legs, because that's great Pokemon design right there if I've ever seen it. YouTube doesn't do ads on streams, do they? I have no idea. I have no idea if YouTube does ads on stream or not. The ads in the game, they have too much talking in the game. Pokemon does have too much talking in the game. And this is one of those things, like, I praise endlessly. Doom, the original Doom, 1993. John Romero said that story doesn't matter. People expect it to be there, but it really doesn't matter. And you pick up the game, and in 5 seconds, you're playing the game, and you're just enjoying it. And that is absolutely perfect. And I feel like more games need the ability to just pick it up and start playing. I don't need an hour and a half of exposition. I don't need 30 minutes of tutorial. Just let me play the game. And I will say, Dark Souls does do that well, where it just throws you in and you can start enjoying and playing the game. I do like story games or story games. And if it's a game about a story, I don't mind that. But too many games try to have these like really deep stories, and at the end of the day, no one cares about it. I don't think there's a single person I've ever met who's like, yeah, I really like the story in Pokemon. You know, I play Pokemon for the story. I have never heard a single person say that they actually genuinely enjoy the story in Pokemon. Can't swim yet. I just learned that the hard way. I definitely cannot swim yet. Sometimes I just want to start having fun. The other thing about that is, like, I don't know if I want to commit to your game yet, right? Like, I know that sounds terrible, but like, let me play a little bit of the game. Let me play with the controls and how it actually like functions, because there's a good chance I'm not even going to enjoy your game. And so I don't want to sit through an hour and a half of story just to start playing the game like, oh, I don't like this, and then drop it anyways, right? Give me a taste of the gameplay, and then maybe I'll consider paying attention to the story. Maybe. And that's a big maybe. Give the fans I know how to play option. Yes, we definitely need a I know how to play option. But Nintendo will never. People have been asking for that since literally the second Pokemon game, and I just don't think they're interested in doing that for us. Because if they were going to, they would have, and I just don't think they have any interest in providing us with that option. I play Kirby for the story. Okay, I'm gonna say something really mean about Kirby, and I'm sorry. But like that's basically the only reason to play Kirby, because there's barely any gameplay in a Kirby game. So if you're not enjoying the story, there's really not much else to enjoy in modern Kirby games. And I know that sounds really harsh, but I played the most recent Kirby that came out with Emmy, and it was fun to play in co-op, but like the levels basically had almost nothing to explore. They were all very straightforward. There was no challenge in the game because it's not built to have challenge. So like what else is there? There's music and story. And I mean the music is good. Don't get me wrong. Kirby has some great music in it, but there's not a whole lot going on for Kirby these days. Hello, random grass thing. I didn't mean to fight you, but we'll punch you too, don't worry. These hands are rated E for everyone, so you too can get some of these fists. I've never played anything related to Pokemon. What would be a good entry for you? Honestly, if you have a Switch, probably one of the Switch ones would be the most accessible ones. So like Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet are probably the most accessible ones. Pokemon Legend Arceus is really good too. And technically it's set so far in the past that it's technically the first Pokemon game, so it would start you off right. So I would say one of the modern generations probably is your best bet. If you happen to have a DS, there are some good DS games, but the amount of people who have DSs compared to Switches, I think you're probably more accessible on a Switch game. I mean, you can't go wrong. All the Pokemon games are good in their own rights for different things, but there's no wrong way to enjoy a Pokemon. I understand Pokemon is not made for adults. I do get that, but I feel like just because it's not made for adults doesn't mean that it needs to be this ultra hand-holding experience, right? Like, I played Pokemon Blue. See, it came out in 1996, so I played Pokemon Blue when I was 5 years old and beat the game. So, like, I don't think that I really read or understood a whole lot of the game, but it does. You can figure it out, right? Like, a big part of it is like the trial and error. So it doesn't need an hour and a half long tutorial just because it's made for kids. Like, kids don't have to be dumb, right? Like, kids can figure things out without all the excessive tutorials and hand-holding. That you just got to give them a chance to do that. Same thing with like Doom. I was playing Doom when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I figured that out and got through the game. So like, it's totally possible for kids to do that without needing all the excessive stuff. All right, let's grab you, put you on the team. Pokemon knows two things for sure. No matter how much old heads complain, they're going to buy a copy for themselves, their spouse, and their kids. Oh yeah, without a doubt. The same reason why they still make 2 versions of every game, right? There's no logical reason for them to make 2 different versions of the same game that only have like 5 different Pokemon. But they know if they do that, people will buy both versions still. So, like, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they take the free money? American kids are getting dumber and need more help. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but you know, I want to have that hope, right? I want to have the hope that kids are smart, and if you give them a chance, they will understand complex things like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender is clearly a show made for kids. But that doesn't mean that it holds your hand. They still address adult topics. They still have these deeper conversations. They still have complex three-dimensional characters, and it's not insulting to children. It treats children as these smart, intelligent things that can watch this show and understand these more complex things. So I would much prefer things be made for kids in the way that like Avatar: The Last Airbender is made for kids than anything else. All right, I see one of our Pokemon down here. I see the flamingo. As I said, flamingos are one of my favorite real-life animals, so we are going to get the flamingo. That will be one of our permanent team members. They did get a little bit deeper in this game with Arven. I wasn't paying attention to Arven, so I can't say that I actually know what he's about. I was just skipping through because I just wanted to see the world. All right, Flamingo, you are mine. Come join my team. Is this your first time playing this game? So I played Scarlet and Violet when it launched, but it ran so terribly on the Switch that I basically gave up on it after like an hour because it was just so ugly and terrible on the original Switch that I just like, no, I don't want this. So I'm trying it again now on the Switch 2. It does run a bit smoother. It does look a little bit nicer, so it is a better experience. Gen X bought Millennials the games. Who bought Gen Z the games? Who are getting the games for Gen Alpha? I mean, that's a fair point. That is definitely... I did not finish the story, no. I got about as far as seeing that Team Star has a massive car Pokemon thing. And I was like, this is stupid. That's all I remember. Was their massive car thingy being really dumb. My phone might have crashed if I heard you say anything about Kirby. But let me tell you something about everyone's favorite chewing gum. And it may just be that maybe Kirby is just not made for me, and that's okay. Not every game needs to be made for me, but like I don't super see the appeal of Kirby in general. So my favorite Kirby game, though, and maybe this will speak volumes about me, in my opinion, the best Kirby game was the SNES game that was Kirby's Dream Course, where you played Kirby Golf. That was, in my opinion, the best Kirby game we've ever gotten. Why is this flamingo kicking my butt? Why is this flamingo so strong? All right, Pichu, go kick its butt. Stop kicking me. Why is this thing one-shotting me? Why does this flamingo have so much speed and so much power behind it? All right. Psyduck. Please. Thank you. Wow, you did nothing. See, this is what I'm talking about, that I'm really bad at Pokemon. How is a random level 8 Flamingo destroying me. What are your thoughts on VR? I absolutely love VR. I want VR to be the future of gaming. I want every game to be in VR, but the problem is we need to get VR more mainstream before it ever stands a chance of being anything. And I just don't think any big groups are willing to invest in it and actually try to make it good. So I don't think we'll ever see VR really mainstream, but there are some great VR games and some great VR experiences. The problem is most people buy a VR headset, they play Beat Saber, they have a couple cool games, and then they get bored of it and it just sits there because no one's making actual good AAA good experiences for their helmets. And that's why I'm hoping Nintendo's known for abandoning their stuff very quickly, right? Like, they make a system and then they'll make a completely different system next. And then they'll make a completely different system next. And they're not afraid to push the boundary. And I think if Nintendo announced that their next system was the Virtual Boy 2 and really went all in on VR, we would see a mass adoption of VR. But we need Nintendo or Sony to go all in on it and truly say, yes, this is the next generation. And I just don't think any of them are willing to take that risk. So I don't think we're ever going to get that. But I really do enjoy VR games. Do you think everyone would accept a VR Nintendo thing? I think that most people who are Nintendo fanboys will accept anything. I think people are frothing at the mouth to buy Nintendo stuff, and so if they're given the opportunity, they're gonna buy it. There's a VR Pokemon I like called PokeQuest. Some people don't have all that space for a VR setup. Well, so good games have a seated and a standing mode. So they give you the ability to stand up and play the game in like full movement, but a lot of them also have a seated mode where you can just sit down. Like I play No Man's Sky in VR all the time. You just sit in your seat like you would be doing normally and enjoy the game that way. So yes, space is a concern, but they should also develop a seated mode. No Man's Sky in VR is a completely different game than No Man's Sky. Borderlands 2 VR, love that. Love Borderlands 2 in VR. Super different game. Completely different experience. Batman in VR, amazing. PUBG, all like the PUBG knockoffs, Escape from Pavlov or whatever, that's the VR version. Super cool to experience those games in VR. I want to try Batman. It's a cool game. And I really like it adds a whole new element to like being good at the games. Like when you're playing there's like Call of Duty, there's Fortnite clones, right? So you're playing in a battle royale shooting game, but in VR. But instead of just your regular Fortnite skills, you need to have skills for climbing up towers, skills for aiming down scopes, skills for reloading your weapons fast enough, skills for accessing your menus. It becomes a full body experience where it's looking for your skills, not just knowing the game, but also like the physical skills of being able to reach for your magazines, reach for your grenades, how to aim and throw things. Like it adds so many cool new elements to the game. But I also know, as we talk about a lot on our stream, accessibility is always a concern when we talk about games. And as we get into that realm of gaming, that also means a lot of people won't be able to access the game if they don't have access to the space to play it, or they're missing an arm, for example. It all of a sudden becomes a much harder experience. So that does become a concern as things like that become more popular. We also have the concern of can everyone play and enjoy this? No, I didn't mean to challenge. I don't want to fight that Pokemon. All right, where are we going? What do we got over here? Is there anything that sound a rare candy? There's an acorn thing. That's a Lechonk. What's this? We found a random sealed ruinous tablet. Okay, I'm guessing that's something later. I don't have access to the sealed ruinous tablet. Grab some more random items. I think we caught the Pokemon in this area that we wanted to catch. So I guess let's go to a different area and find some different mons. Oh, it's one of the ground whoopers. That's a ground type, right? And it absorbs water. The brown whoopers are like water ground type, I think, correct? Catch him? I don't think I have any non-water moves on this guy, so ground poison. All right, let's swap in this guy and get our ground poison whooper. It's super good in your run. Ooh, we almost decimated that thing. Hopefully it doesn't knock itself out. No. Why? Why, Whooper? Are there any more of you around? I'm telling you, I am the most unlucky Pokemon trainer in the world. Okay, does this one have water absorb? In fact, let's try something different here. Let's throw out Fido. Let's go gentle, easy, a little bit less oomph behind those hits. Lick it. Lick the Whooper. Throw Pokeball to catch Pokemon, knocks Pokemon out. It's a fairy type against a poison type. Ah, but you don't know my secret, and that secret is I have no idea what I'm doing, so type effectiveness can't impact me if I don't understand it. Also, I wish I would have caught the other one, actually, because so this one poisons you if you touch it, but having the ability to absorb water when that's one of its weaknesses seems like a really powerful move for that Whooper to know, right? Like the ability to just remove one of your weaknesses, that seems super powerful. So let's see if we can find one that has that water ability, because water absorb is super OP on that dude. What are you? You're a Palmy. You're a bug. There's a bunch in the water. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Come closer. I'm pretty sure I can't swim yet, but if it comes close enough to the edge, maybe I can engage in the battle before I fall totally in. I don't know if that'll actually work or not, but... No, it doesn't look like there's any more here. So, no, the flamingo. The overly aggressive flamingos in this area. What is up with those dudes? You can chuck a Pokemon at it? I did not know that. Okay, in my defense, I wasn't paying attention to the tutorial, so I did not know I could do that. We'll go back and throw a Pokemon at it. If the flamingos will leave me alone. Those guys are way too aggressive. All right, where were we? They were down this way. Okay, back here. We were over here. Get him. No. Okay, that was clearly the wrong button. Oh, I didn't know there was a camera. That's kind of cool. I can do Pokemon photography? Okay, now I'm sold on this game. Y'all know I love photography, so if I can do Pokemon photography, I am sold on this. Okay. Where'd they go? Also Pokemon picnics. Okay, there's one over there next to that Psyduck. Maybe we can hit that one. Move, Psyduck. No. Okay, so it auto targets the closest Pokemon, it's not actually aiming. So we messed that up. That's okay. We'll beat up the Psyduck really quick and then maybe we can hit it. Okay. I see there's one behind us. We might have to beat that guy up too. You can aim? Can you? Unless you have to unlock that. No, go away. Leave me alone. However, there's a Wooper right there. No. Dude, these flamingos. What is up with these flamingos? With their super powerful kicks. I just want a Wooper that absorbs water. Why is this so difficult? You could have bumped into that one. I could have, but I was getting attacked by a flamingo. Okay. Where'd the Wooper go? It ran off. It got scared. Okay, there's a Choodle. There's a Psyduck. Here's a Psyduck. That's a Meryl. That's a Magikarp. Oh, we're gonna drown. Oh, we're dead. Oh, wait. Okay, well, we were swimming for a second, but apparently not. Apparently we learned to swim for 1 second, and that is it. See, Magikarp, there's a Meryl. That is not what I meant to do. I'm just really bad at this. Why am I so bad at this? Ah, here we go. Okay. We're looking for one with water absorb. Do you possess the ability to absorb water? Let's find out. He does. Okay, this is the one we want. This is the one that's coming on our team. So we need something that will not one-shot it, but also isn't weak to it. So how about a bird? Did that just say that my Pokemon's ability is called Big Pecs? What? All right. You're mine, Whooper. And you're coming on the team. Yes. This is going to be Super. Because he's Super Whooper. We're going to add you to the party. It was a critical capture. And you are going to replace Psyduck. All right. We have captured us a strong, useful Pokemon. Let's go heal up and go explore a new area. All catches are crit catches. But it didn't shake, like the crit catching is it didn't shake 3 times, right? Like that's the whole thing, is like usually the ball shakes 3 times, but if you critical capture them, it doesn't. Like that's the difference, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Do I know what I'm talking about? No. No? Okay. Well. Alright, let's save. It is well past the time that I usually stop streaming. So it is about time for me to go get some breakfast and start my day. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me this morning. I don't know how my ending screen is going to work here because again, I'm using a different program. So there's a good chance that this whole thing breaks. So hopefully it works. I don't know. Let's find out. If it doesn't work, thank you everyone for watching me this morning. I'll be streaming again on Monday morning. It was always a pleasure to start my day with chatting with you all. I really do appreciate it. It's great to hang out with you all. So God bless everyone. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and we will see you again on Monday. Let's see if this works.